Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Cheryl Elgie from Kerrang in Northern Victoria, Australia. I don't know why I'm so shadowy and dark. Let me see if I can. And I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Let's see if I can. It's probably better for you if I switch that off, but it's not for me. So I can't see properly. Okay, so I'm going to attempt, I should be able to do it. It's a little bit tricky, this card, but once you have everything straight in your head, you should be able to do it. I did it perfectly the first time, and then I thought, right, I'll do this next card, and I think I had to have 3 attempts because I just wasn't getting things right in my head. So these are metric measurements. Where's my, oh, here it is. I'll just go through the measurements. I haven't actually made this actual card yet. So you're going to have 2 pieces. So you need a piece of, I'm using Peaceful Pine. So you're going to cut that in half at 14.9. And then, which will give you 21 centimetre, 2 21 centimetre pieces, okay, which is that. And then you're going to cut a centimetre off one of them. So you've got 20 centimetres by 14.9, and you're going to score that the same as you normally would do at 10.5. And this shorter piece becomes the back of your card. So I should have that like that. Let's burnish that the other way so that we know. If you're watching, please leave me a comment so that I know you're here, because if you don't comment, I don't know that you're here. And the second piece is the full size. So and then we're going to score, and I've already done mine, but I'll just go through the score lines for you. So this is 21 centimetres by 14.9. Turn around that way, and then we score at 1 centimetre. You can do this either side, but I like to do it here so that I've got more room to hang on to. But make sure you turn it around then when you've done that, because otherwise everything will be out. And then we go to 10.5 as normal, score that one, and then we go to 11.5 centimetres and score that one. Okay, now the tricky bit is, I'll just show you my mug map. I've opened that out so that I can explain what tricked me. So this is your, this piece here, it's stuck onto the back. That gets stuck onto the, or the back gets stuck onto that. That makes sense. So this piece here, it's already stuck on that, so I can't really explain that as well as I would like. So what you've got here is this piece here. That's what you look through your shadow box. So that's what you put your background piece of scenery DSP in. And what was confusing me was I was cutting my aperture out of this side, which is correct, but you need to flip it over and you need to cut it out of this side. So this and this are on opposite sides. You can see that. Once you get that straight in your head, it should be fairly simple, as long as you don't cut the aperture out upside down, which I may have done. I know I may have cut it on the wrong side and then I couldn't just flip it. That might have been what I did. So let's just check this again. So I've got that there, and if I flip that over, I've got my arch there. So that's where I'm going to cut my arch. If she can find where she put her arches. Yeah. And I already cut a background piece for mine, so Just going to make sure I'm using the right size arch. So there, and getting that there so that that's all good. And then when we go in like that, that's so I've got that and that. When we go like that, we've got that. So it is a little bit confusing. So this side here is where you cut your arch from, and it's in between these two score lines here. Okay, but first I need to adhere my paper onto there, don't I? My scenery paper. If I can remember what I wanted to use, I think I wanted to use this one. And this, if you're wondering, that's from the In Colour painted patterns. So you know how we used to have it in 6x6? We've now, pardon me, got it in 12x12. I could have used the paper out of the same set. So I'm using the water side, the relaxing water side. I could have used that, but I didn't want to. So I'm just checking myself all the way so that I don't make a major error. And I don't want to put adhesive all through this because I'm not going to use the arch that I cut out. So I can save them for another project. So making sure we've got that. Hang on. In between our two score lines, I said, didn't I? And it's not. In between the two score lines, I want that in between the two score lines, like so. Yeah, I think this is right. Could be a major disaster if it's not. Not really, it's only paper. So we cut that out of there. Yep, that's right. Cut that out of there. Just going to check something because I've used the paper that comes in. So that's going to go on the other side of that and flip over. But what I'm checking is how high I want the arches up. How high or how low, because I'm just going to get that in there. So we want it about there. Just make sure that's in the centre. See my lines here and here. It's actually better if you burnish them, but not really better if you burnish them, because then it's harder to go through the machine. So just going to make sure again that I've got that. Alright, it's not going to really matter because I can move it up and we can have more water than see. So I'm just going to go through the machine with that now. And hopefully that's cut through. I think it is. It will cut through 2 layers, but it did actually struggle. So we don't need to use that, but you can keep that for another project, and you should be able to get those. If you haven't been too crazy with the glue, you should be able to get those apart. I've got glue on one side, but easy get that off with my adhesive rubber if I needed to. Just pop that aside because we don't need those. So we can pop our arches away too, because I've already cut and I will adhere. Gonna rescore these, re-burnish. Oh, I didn't burnish them at all, did I? You just really want to make sure that you've burnished these all very nicely so everything lines up perfectly. It's just easier to see where I want my paper if I do this. And we need to do this anyway, of course. Always need to give your score lines a good burnish. So that is correct. And then we need our paper, oops, to go in here. Ideally you would have a whole piece of that, but because, oops, hopefully I haven't been too cheeky there. I'm hoping that that's going to be okay, and that's all you see of that. We will soon see. So that I've got that. You wouldn't need to do this if you've got a bigger piece of paper, but we haven't. So what I'm going to do is just put a pencil line there and there, because I need my paper in between those two. Is it too wide? I just want to check that too. Didn't think it was. No, it's fine. So we can adhere that down on this. There's a piece like this that's in a round circle in the actual, which I was going to use because there's a couple of cards I didn't get around to making up out of the paper pumpkin kit that we were gifted on stage. So there's these two. I'm actually thinking of getting a refill because, you know, you've only got 2 of each of these scenes and they're really, really handy. So I just don't know yet whether I'm going to do that or not. I haven't subscribed to Paper Pumpkin because it's not my normal way of crafting. But the next month's one looks really, really nice. So then, have I done everything? This piece here goes on there. No, it doesn't. It goes on here. Just remember that the smallest piece is our back. I probably burnished that the wrong way, and I need to put this piece here around. You would have seen that, but I didn't put that away, wouldn't you? Could lose your dies. It's my biggest nightmare, losing my stuff. Not losing them, but misplacing them when I'm crafting. I'm like, always, where's this, where's that? So I'm thinking that will look nice. I was going to go a different colour, but I thought, no, I'm going to do that. So for this one, I'm going to put the glue around this aperture here. We only need a tiny bead of glue around here. Or you could use adhesive sheets. Around this way, otherwise I'm going to get my hand into glue. Oops. Going a bit crooked there. Okay. Now we will adhere that down. Takes a little minute to stick. A few seconds. Give it a bit of a help. That's come up there. Push it up a bit. We've got a little bit of wiggle room with our glue. Come on, you're not supposed to have stretched, you're supposed to fit. I normally prefer going up 2 sizes, but with the smaller aperture, smaller piece to work with, because this here in between here is only 9.5, where we usually have a 10.5 centimetre piece to work with. So it's actually looking a bit crooked, but you're not going to know once it's all together, are you? Now, do I need to do anything else? I don't believe I do. So then this gets adhered to this with, you want to adhere the, not on that fold, on the, how can I explain that? On the inner fold, not the outer fold. That becomes your, oh, I know what I didn't do. I left it so I could show you, then I forgot. So, to make sure everything comes together nicely, you want to just take off a smidge, and I did it either side, because otherwise you might get this kind of, I didn't do it on this one, and you might get this effect where, if you can see there, I've got a little bit of an edge there. That's because I didn't think to take a little piece off there, and I should have. That's what inspired this card, because a lady years ago, and that card is for her, so I hope she's not watching. I don't think she normally does. And I did make the card, but I don't know whose tutorial I used or whatever, wherever I got the measurements from, but it was really tricky. But that was probably when I first started, so I'm probably, well, hopefully I'm better at this now, hopefully. So let's just see. Sometimes you can't get a sliver with your trimmer, and I actually have been taking just a sliver off the other side as well, so that they all fold, because you've got your score lines and fold lines, so it doesn't always fold nice and neat. Just needs that little smidge. So you can try both ways. Take off one side, and if that doesn't seem right, take off the other side. So we've got to remember, we want our, I've got that going the wrong way now, haven't I? Yeah, because I want that there. I have scored that right, so that's okay. So if you fold that down, you're going to not stick it there. So just make sure that this I'm trying to get the comments up like I normally do, but of course, Facebook, got myself in full screen and I can't see a thing. Okay. Well, if you're watching and you're commenting, I should be able to see on my phone. I don't think I've had any comments yet. So I did this by trial and error. I don't trust sticking things with liquid glue. We do get on well, but not when I'm trying to do things exact. It doesn't seem to give me the wiggle room that I like to have. So I'm going to try this little trick with, this is what I did my last one before I went live. I had one to assemble, which I did a weird way. I did it a bit different. Now, let me see here what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take this off part way. Part way and part way. Hang on. This bit here, isn't it? Now we put the wrong end on, didn't I? I think this is right. I'm always surprised if I get this right. So, probably not explaining it the best. So it'll be the outside edge. So get that on the outside edge. Make sure that's level. This is flicked back up again, and so is that one. That on that outside edge and get them level. Press that down. Then we should, and get my fingers back in there. Should be able to get that right too. My tear tape is showing there a bit. I don't think that'll matter though. And then, oh, hang on, no, this one. Then fold it on this line here. And then we put our tear tape there. And then just close our card, okay? Straighten that up a bit because it's come a bit uneven there. I just noticed. And if you burnish like I should have, should come off easily, or you can use your take your pick tool to get that off. Come here. Now, like I said, lay that down straight. Make sure everything's perfectly straight and close your card, and you're not having anything poke out the edge. And when you open that up, how cool is that? But we're not done yet. Got more. We've got more to do. Finding where my bone folder goes. Can never find its spot. Okay. Give your back a stretch. Oh, I know what I was meant to do. I've only cut one of these chairs. I was meant to cut two. Never mind. Not that hard to cut. And it's even got... Where's that? Those are for the front. I didn't cut my white for the inside, but that's all right. I can do that in a sec. So this is the first time I've used this die cut, so I'm just guessing where that goes. That goes in there, like that. And I think, what will I do? I can get a thin row of seal in there, rather than tear tape, because I don't want it oozing out. Then this piece actually comes out when you die cut, so I decided I'd put it straight back on the front of the chair so it all looks nice. And these little thingos, I should have showed you the set, shouldn't I? Where's the dies? They come out of these little pieces, if you're wondering what they are. And this was another, well, I'm guessing it's a back of a chair. We might use that one on the outside just for something different. Yeah, that goes on the same way, so you can have two different chairs. And then these are the arms of the chair somehow. Not quite sure how they go. Like that, I think. Is that right? Look like wings. Yeah, I'm not sure how they go. Like that. So we don't get any instructions with these. We just got to figure it out ourselves. So it goes there, and that goes there. And I might just use a little glue dot for those. Although I may as well use glue. I'll just put it this side because I don't want it, because it's going over the aperture. I don't want it to be on the outside bit of it. That makes sense. Now I thought I would just put the chair there, but I don't know whether I want to change my mind. I think I'm going to leave that because I think I might change my mind. Let's do the outside piece, outside the front of the card. Let's do that. So I thought I'd do this. Get my glue again, my seal. Of course, it doesn't matter which way up you have this. And I've got a piece of this paper. And that's going just like that. And this one is gonna go, I think, like that, but let's see. Maybe up a bit higher. I feel like I need to border these. They don't seem They don't seem to stand out very well, but I don't want to make the card too thick. So I'm probably, again, being too fussy. So we might just go with that. That can either go straight or on an angle. I'm going to do the sentiment and then we'll work out. Happy birthday. I've used this happy birthday lots. I think I'm just going to do it on white and use my Peaceful Pine. And a scrap of white. Oh, we could use that. Could use that. No. But I can stamp this on here. I can do that. These new pads, I haven't used them much. Doesn't really matter if I get ink everywhere because I'm going to cut it out, aren't I? What about there? While that ink's drying, I'll just clean this off. And find my sentiments. Find my dies, I mean. Because I'm lazy like that, I'm gonna just chop that so that I don't, you know, when it goes through the machine it can make a mess. So just gonna save that paper by just chopping it. So I know I do need to do another sentiment for my other card that I haven't showed you yet. So I ran out of time. So I might do it on that, or it might have to be embossed. I'm not sure yet. So I'm just going to die cut that. That's so nice. Now let's see what we've got here. Not altogether happy with that, but it might have to do. Then I've got another idea for the inside, I think. So let's just put some glue on the chair bits. I wouldn't use what am I saying? I wouldn't use seal. I would use seal. I wouldn't use multi-purpose on this because these chair backs are. I probably wouldn't use seal either because it's stuck to it. Now that's stuck to my finger. Gosh. I need to stick it down with something. Maybe I should have used adhesive sheets, I don't know. Let's put that across the rungs, or glue dots would probably be the go. So, put that there. I just feel like it's not bright enough, but maybe for a guy it doesn't have to be bright, I'm not sure. And then if we put, oh, come here, the happy birthday, kind of, where, maybe up there. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's okay. Not as nice as I had hoped, but it is a guy card, so it probably doesn't have to be nice. Maybe we could put a bit of twine or something, just to jazz it up a little bit. So if I use this one, I don't know what you call this colour, but it kind of goes with the background paper. There's even bits cut off this, so it's meant to be used. Let's see what this will look like. This is called Crafting on the Fly. Maybe I want that bigger to go behind that sentiment. Let's see. What seed we want that to go there. Or do we want it little to go underneath? Yeah, maybe little and underneath, I think, because that sentiment's only little, so I don't really want it sticking over the top, otherwise it's going to be all bumpy. Alright, just get that on some dimensionals. I believe these will just fit if you hold your mouth right. Yep, that's right. You don't need big fingers for this, I don't think. Little fingers would be the go, and mine aren't really, well, they're not huge, but they're not little either. Oh, come on, you go there. All right. I feel like some reeds or something would be nice too. I'm just wondering. Wrong scissors. These scissors, oops, throwing things around. Grab a glue dot. For my twine. Try and roll that into a ball. I'm going to go there, oops, there. Be a bit far on the edge, isn't it? I just don't know whether I could have put some reeds or something. I'm sort of winging it here, so I'm trying not to be here all night. Still got a... Oh, Why is that not going in there? Because my scissors are in there. Get out. Still got to work out what I want here. Now we need a piece of white. In here, which way is that? If I go that way, I think that was, what was it, about 9 or 9.5? 9. So if we go 9, by 14, 4. So that will go there. You can either decorate that or not. I thought I might put some reeds on there, and then I thought I might do some reeds on the opposite side as well. Like hanging over the, because I didn't like the chair there. But it was too big. So if we stamp these ones, I might stamp them twice. So that I might put, come here, put some over the other side as well. Did I clean that? I'm not sure. Let's grab another block. That one. Grab our Peaceful Pine again. Take that out because I don't want to line through my stamping. Maybe just stamp off that one. That looks nice. Now I need a bigger piece of scrap. Just really playing now because I want to see what this is going to look like. That, and I want another bigger one. Playing with all my scraps here. Is this going to be enough? Don't throw your scraps out because they're useful. That didn't stamp very well, but that'll be okay. And some more scrap for the inside as well as the outside as well. Because I might put one on the outside as well. I'm not sure. Not sure till you try, hey? That's stamped pretty well. I'll do a couple more of these. Close that up, close out the road, and that can get stuck in there. I'm just going to check and make sure that's where you can write your message. You could put something else on the other side and put your message on the back, but I don't know why you would do that. Doesn't make much sense. And I like to leave this until I've got this all adhered, because then this makes this piece just a little bit smaller than what it looks before it's all together. If that makes sense. So that's really pretty. And let's die cut some of these. Find the dies. So they're the stamps. I don't know if I showed you or not. There's the stamps. And these are the dies. Get them out the right way. So we should have one for the big one and one for the little one. I'll just do a couple. Might be all good. Let's just see, we'll put these away before we lose them. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's enough for the front. So I just need some adhesive on the bottom of those. I'm going to have that there. Where's my adhesive? There. I do think I want it a little way down, otherwise it's going to not sort of hold up properly. There. Yeah, I think that's cute. Now, I was wondering if I should have put some of these under here. It's probably I'm probably doing this the wrong way round now. Whether I just, I don't know if I can get that up. It's probably a bad idea. To, maybe I can. Let's just try. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Just sorry I didn't think of it before I stuck that down. Even if maybe we use the little ones. Maybe that. And maybe that. Just gives it a bit of life, I feel. Maybe, no. Maybe just these two. And then we can go, yeah. Yep. I think she's doing it. I think she's doing it. Which one did I have under? I think I had that one under. That. Got a bit of glue where it shouldn't be, but it might get hidden. And we'll go this again. And this one again. And then I don't know if there was any embellishments that went with these. Not sure. Anyway, I don't think I got them. So I'm just going to use, I'm going to use something old. Don't like that. show you. Whoops. See what I've got in my old ones. If nothing goes, well, I'll look in my newish stuff. Didn't get much that was new. I need to sort of, I've got browns. Haven't got any brown there. I need something kind of grey, don't I? I might have something grey in a fairly new one, perhaps. I'm just thinking. I thought I had grey in old stuff. There's black. Black. Well, here's some grey. I'll do. I really just do need to use up my stuff. So, my stash. Because what else are you going to do with it, eh? I'm going to just put that there. Because we've got the grey in the paper, it kind of goes quite nicely. Come here. And then we'll have a little one up the top somewhere. Oops. Maybe, yeah, maybe there. Cute. Now I can say I am happy with that. I really quite like it. I could have put the chair in there, but I decided not to. So I've already showed you that, ladies. This is one I just whipped together just before I came live. I've done this differently, as you can see. I've used white, basic white, and I've cut my apertures out of the basic white with the Scenic Coast. I've used the Scenic Coast paper, the Scenic Coast dies. I haven't used any of the stamps. I haven't stamped out my stamps yet. So, and I need to put a sentiment and something there. It's not quite finished because I was hurrying. So, that's tear tape. It should have stuck better than that. Anyway, we'll fix that up later. And I have got, this was my practice one I did for the Scenic Coast one. Then I ended up doing it differently again. And I've just used the Everyday Skies retired paper because I needed to practice. I showed you that one. And I did another fishing one, but I didn't use the... I used an old set and some old paper. Well, it's not that old. It's called Peaceful Pier. I actually saw some ones online, and that isn't a mistake there. I just left a little bit of an edge there to sort of make it marry up. That's the goodness, it's down here. Thoughtful Journey paper. And I'd seen someone had made a card out of that online, and they didn't watermark it, so I don't know whose it was, but thank you so much for the inspiration. This is the chair stamped, and this is, I should show you that stamp set. You can't buy it anymore, and I hadn't even used mine, so let me, or did I not put it away? It's called Peaceful Pier. Here it is. So to me, this is the perfect accompaniment to the relaxing waterside, because you've got your pier, you've got your little fishermen, you've got your trees and your fish. So I thought it was great. So for the inside, I've used the branching out frames. I've used the grass or the reeds or the whatever you call them. And I've just stamped that on the Thoughtful Journey paper. Stamp my trees so it looks like a little bit of a scene, because I wanted to practice with this, but I didn't want to use my good paper. So it's all good paper, I know, but I didn't want to use my currant paper in there, so I quite liked that. I was really happy with that when it was finished. I didn't really know what to put on this piece though, but I think it all goes. And this is actually Golden Glow, because I believe that would be wild wheat on and I've actually coloured the little drawbridge, not a drawbridge, little boardwalk thing in with my Golden Glow. And I could have used wild wheat because I've still got those, but that was just something a little bit different. So very happy with all of those cards, and I hope you enjoyed my my live. Or if you watch later, or if you watch on YouTube, please leave me a comment and let me know what you thought. And you can also make something really pretty, like I did for this lady's birthday. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.